Okay, might as well get going here. I'm just going to show my game screen. I am currently logging in. I'm still sitting where we left off last week. However, I have done a couple things on this character. I have gone ahead and did the company where you hit Control U and you bring this up, mission allowance, all these. I did these once a week for the last couple of weeks, and I'm at the point now where I need to complete my company hunt log in order to get to the next rank. So that's going to be one of our goals for this session, but first I have to continue this Arcanist quest, which will finish off my Arcanist quest line, and then I can start on my Scholar and Summoner quest lines. So let's go ahead and get going on this one. You ready then? We'll be off as soon as the boat's loaded. And we're gonna go ahead and... Oh, I just realized I don't have Carbuncle summoned. Let's summon Carbuncle first. Oh, and there goes my Chocobo. But I don't need him for the instance battle. Or her. Because she can't join me in the instance battle. So, alright, let's go. Ah, fine grog and a fine woman. The captain will be pleased with this haul. Pray, do not stare so. This was the most expedient method of gaining access to the ship. I will take that satchel from you now. You may have it back after I take the items I need. Remember the satchel we got? Hey, what mischief are you two about? She's suddenly covered in a cowl. I was merely borrowing some clothes. You wouldn't wish me to catch a chill from this brisk ocean air, would you? You'll be dancing yourself warm once we get you on the ship, lass. You better slip off that ratty robe before you meet the captain. Of course, of course. I'll be happy to show him the performance that awaits. The bitch Admiral's lapdog. Come back for that lesson, have ye? It is I who shall be teaching this day. My lecture will focus on the manipulation of reality through applied strategy. Enough of this damn yapping. By the time I'm done with you, you'll remember who your real master is. Alright, we fight. So you can get some protection by standing in her little circle here. But you don't have to. The thing is, if you're standing here and she's also standing here, you'll end up taking damage from, like, you'll give her damage and she won't dodge the way you will. But she's not standing here right now, so we can stand here. But But I think what you're meant to do is you're meant to go back there when you need some healing or whatever. And there's... Let's finish this guy off anyway. Remember your lessons? Always kill the caster first. Let's do that. Flat casting. And these guys... Oh, her Topaz Carbuncle totally died. Another. So you gotta be careful because you notice how that would hit Kalaya as well. It does damage to her, and you fail to trial because she takes too much damage. So you gotta be a little bit careful there. It's not too bad though. That's all of those guys. You rabid little cur. Our numbers matter not. It is strategy that will win this battle. Prepare yourself, Dosmega. With your defeat, will I cast off the shackles you closed on my soul. You think so, eh? You think your fancy magic's a match for my blade? You've got another think coming. Okay, now we fight Dosmega. Okay, and we've got a bunch of other dudes to deal with. So you notice her Topaz Carbuncle is back. So that's good. Let's deal with Rabble first. Okay, we'll do Outburst because there's lots of them. Okay, one and then and he's on me now, which is fine. Although this is going to hit Kalaya, so that's not so fine. But he can come fight me. I'm gonna whoop his ass. Yep. Dosmega now faces defeat. He will flee to the starboard rail. Obvious. Next comes his attempt to escape into the sea. You think you're pulling me strings, do ya? Think I'll dance to your tune? Well, I ain't falling for your bloody tricks. It is at this moment he notices the yellow jackets I had you summon in my explicit instructions to Riazam. You were a fool to return, Dosmega. I hear you're fond of shackles, so we've brought a set especially for you. He's all captured. Hooray! This concludes today's lecture. Thank you, Kit. This strategy would not have succeeded without your flawless execution. Which suggests that my tactics yet require more work. One must allow for some small deviation in performance. I believe, however, that I now understand where my calculations went awry. It is not enough to wish to shape reality, one must also have a complete understanding of the reality one wishes to obtain. It is time I sought out our guildmaster. Of course, she had a boat waiting. Pray convey to Mistress Thurbogame my fondest wishes and my appreciation for all that she has done for me. The truest test of my strategies now begins. And that's that. Now we go back to the Arcanist Guild. Which I could return to, but we're gonna need that return for later, so let's go ahead and use the ferry skipper since it's right here. Passage to Limsa for 40 gil. Alright. To the Arcanist Guild. Welcome back, Kit. There is much I would ask you, but first, may I have the satchel you received during your assignment? May I? Oh, she says the same thing. Here's the satchel. The original owner needs her costume back, you see. I'll make sure everything is returned safe and sound. Now let us speak of Kalaya. I'm glad to know that she has finally freed herself to pursue her heart's desire, and you are to thank for awakening the Foreseer to her self-imposed fetters. The brilliance of Kalaya's strategies served to blind her to her own feelings, and it pained me to see her suffer so. Your example may even encourage Kalaya to improve her combat abilities, although such will surely come in time. After all, she intends to study under the Guildmaster's direct instruction. Imagine those two obsessive arcanists and the complexity of the tactics they will develop. It may very well be that your actions in bringing them together will prove the catalyst that sparks a new era of invention in the art of arcanema. You too should look to the improvement of your discipline if you are to keep pace with all that is certain to follow. To that end, I offer you a new technique, one I pray which allows you to more readily drive back your foes on the battlefield. Alright, so we get Ruin 2, which is an instacast, and Ruin Mastery, which upgrades Ruin to Ruin 2. Oh wait, Ruin 2 is not an instacast anymore. Never mind. But it is a very fast cast. It's just an upgrade of Ruin 1. And we get a new Grimoire, and we can pick out a piece of gear. So let's take a look and see what's there. So item comparison. We still got the brand new robe. So this would be a definite upgrade to the brand new robe. And I think we still have the brand new leggings as well. Brand new waist strap, rather. So this would also be an upgrade. Velveteen gloves. I think these are less of an upgrade because we've got a pair of goat skin. And the boots. Yeah, brand new thigh boots. So again, a direct upgrade. Let's go ahead and take the body piece. Hooray! We learned Ruin 2! and we got Ruin Mastery. Oh, and we hit level 38. Okay, let's put our new gear on. And we'll reapply the Glamour Plate, which was, I think, number 4. Yes. And upgrade. So you see she has a quest now. This is the Summoner quest line. So we're going to accept it. Greetings, Kit. It is well you have come, for we have an intriguing matter to discuss. A request has come to our guild from the Sons of St. Coinage, an organization of some of the finest minds in Eorzea, and they have asked for you by name. It appears that the research the Sons are currently conducting could benefit from the assistance of an Arcanist, specifically one who had the tempering experience of defeating the Primal Ifrit. Although I must admit to some curiosity as to how these scholars know the extent of your heroic exploits, I suppose the source of their knowledge is of little relevance. If you would answer this request, then you will find your contact, a researcher by the name of Ymitra, at Apkalu Falls in the nation of Gradania. Okay, so that's all the way in Gradania. Just before we go there, we're going to check this request. Oh, look at this! It's the Scholar Quest! Kit, have you any interest in history? If so, I would share with you an opportunity to study the ways of the ancients. A curiously refined and well-read marauder visited the guild the other day in the hopes that he might meet an arcanist of exceptional skill. He claims that the assistance of one such individual would be invaluable for the success of his archaeological research. I say claims because despite his eloquence, the thought of a marauder with academic ambitions still strikes me as odd. You are of course free to formulate your own opinions. His name is Alka Zolka, and he can be found at the Marauders Guild should curiosity overwhelm you. Okay, because this one's Raiden Limsa, we're gonna go ahead and go talk to Alka Zolka. So he's at the Marauders Guild. So let's go there. Here he be. Thank you for setting aside your preconceptions, Kit. I am acutely aware how unusual it is for a marauder to conduct research, as it were. However, you soon shall understand I am not at all like my muscular brethren. Rather than rush blindly into the enemy's maw, I formulate and execute stratagems to great effect. My archaeological pursuits are but an extension of this practice. For present, I am researching the military tactics of ancient Nim. It would not surprise me if you are unfamiliar with Nim. The civilization flourished some 15-odd centuries ago, during the 5th Astral Era. The Nimians lived during an age of wonder, when the magical arts flourished, but magics can be wielded for weal or for woe, and this period of peace eventually gave way to the Great War of the Magi. The nations of that bygone era sought earth-shattering magics to bear against one another. Yet Nim, with only a handful of magics to support its army of manners, repulsed would-be invaders time and time again. Precisely how a military force of this composition could defeat its stronger neighbors is a mystery which has long puzzled military historians. By translating extant Nimian tablets, which I have recently purchased, I mean to solve the riddle at long last. As my knowledge of Arcanemia is cursory at best, I require an experienced arcanist to assist me with my analysis of any text pertaining to the magical arts. Will you be that arcanist, Kit? Yes. There is, however, a complication. The Nimian tablets and other assorted relics, for which I paid an exceedingly large sum of money, were stolen en route to Limsa. The information inscribed on those tablets could be of untold significance. I will not allow thieves to sell it to some rich Ulden collector for pittance. Pray accompany me to the Raincatcher Gully docks and help me reclaim my relics. I have strong reason to believe that the perpetrators can be found there. Alright. So we have to go to Eastern Lenosha, which we haven't actually been to Wineport yet. So that means we're going to be going to Costa del Sol first and run to Wineport. Well, we run and then we take a little ferry across the river. So, just going to go to the Fisherman's Guild. Go to Costa del Sol for cheap. And then we'll hop on the motorcycle. And we're just gonna make our way towards Wineport. At which point we'll collect the teleport since we're gonna be in the area. So we have to go up. We gotta follow this path, basically. This one right here. And not down towards the beach, but up towards Wineport. On the way, I think... Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Those are some company hunt log mobs there, but I think we're not in the right company hunt log for that. Oh, hello, booty shorts. How are you doing? Not in booty shorts, I see. Alright, so you talk to the ferry skipper. It costs you 40 gil to get across. So far we spent 80 gil instead of teleporting, which is 200 and some. And we're directly at the ferry docks. So we could do this fight first and then go get the Aetherite. And I think that's probably the smartest because it'll require us to only have to run the one way. So let's go ahead and talk to him. As I suspected, they are not more than broken men who have seized the docks and taken to robbing every passing ship. Come, let us put an end to their banditry and take back what is ours. Alright. And right into it. These guys are directly on me. And Alcazar is a tank, so he fortunately will tank these guys for us. They're not very difficult fights. This Lancer is on us. That's okay though. We can just kill him. Or Alcazalco can come and get him. That's also a good outcome. It is important to watch Alcazalco's health, just because you don't want him to take too much damage, because if he dies, you fail. But he's a tank, so he's got quite a bit of health. And our heals are quite small, so let's go ahead. Those two are tanky guys, so we're going to go ahead and kill this Lancer. And we'll kill this Gladiator. Yeah, knowing spirit for you. Marauder. Okay, and that's the last guy. So now what we need to do is find the stolen crate. Yes, this is it. A treatise on Nemean military tactics, just as I had hoped. And we found a soulstone. And a fairy. Pretty. Oh, look at her. She's so pretty. Hello there. Mayhap the tablet can explain this. Mumble mumble scholars, familiars, fairies! The sunlight of Eoth doth soothe and shield. The moonlight of Selene doth silence and strengthen. Ooh, there's another pretty fairy. Kit. By the 12, have you any idea what this means? We have rediscovered the long-lost magical arts of Nemean scholars. Alright, now let's talk to him again. Fairies, honest to God, fairies! Well, now I have seen everything. Anyway, I shall return to the guild and begin translating the tablet. I cannot wait to see what other secrets it contains. Okay. So now we just go back to the Marauder Guild, which is what I was saving the return for. But before we do that, we're going to go up and get access to Wineport, the teleport point, and the Chocobo Keep. Ah, Treasures and Tribulations. If you want to do maps, then you need to do that quest. The Chocobo Keep. And the Aetherite. We're not going to be doing maps, so I won't worry about that quest right now. I'm just going to leave it alone. However, if you did want to have your character do map hunts, which are quite common ways to earn gil in the game, then you might want to have your character do that quest. Just this on this character, I'm not going to be doing those things. Oh, and I forgot to set myself /busy. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to return to the Marauders Guild. Return to Limsa. And up to the Marauders Guild. And this concludes this quest. Excellent timing, Kit. I have just finished transcribing a section which will doubtless be of interest to you. According to the tablet, the crystal from which the fairy sprang forth is called the Soul of the Scholar, and it contains the wisdom of these long-dead Nemean mages. With it, you can call upon the fairy as you did before and bind her to your will. As I said before, I have little knowledge of academia, so unless you have some objections, I would like to entrust the crystal to you. Oh, and you needn't recompense me. Simply knowing that the lost arts are being preserved is enough. I shall devote my energies to deciphering the remaining text. Should I discover anything new, I promise that you will be the first to know. The next Scholar quest will be available from Elka Zulka upon reaching level 35. How about that? But first, once you get access to your first job, it's just like switching classes. It's completely separate from your class. Alright. With the Soul of the Scholar equipped, you can summon a fairy to aid you in battle. When called forth, she will assume the form of a healer-type pet. Alright, so we just got our first job. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the armory chest, and we're going to go down to this stone over here. See how everything was the equipment, and this is just a stone? Well, now we have what's called the Soul of the Scholar. So when we equip it, we turn into a scholar. So rather than overwrite this job, I'm actually going to create a new one, because we're going to need Arcanist to unlock Summoner. So now I have a scholar job set. I'm going to put that on my bar, right below the Arcanist one, because the Arcanist one we're just going to turn into the Summoner one when we're ready. But now I need to set up all of my abilities here. So I'm just going to get rid of things like Sprint, Return, Teleport, and Play Guide. Sprint is one you might want to keep on your bar, but it's up to you. We're going to move Resurrection up here, because we don't need it that often. Or, sorry, I usually put Resurrection... where shall we put it? Here. And we'll have Asuna here. That's right. So we have the two fairies. There's Summon Eos and there's Summon Selene. So there used to be differences between the fairies. Used to be. Now it depends on which aesthetic you like better. So Eos is the long-haired fairy. And her colors are kind of like yellow and blue. And a little bit of pink. And Selene is the short-haired fairy. And her colors are more yellow and pink. So there's a lot more pink. So it just depends on which fairy you like better. And it doesn't really matter. They both do the same thing. So we have Repose, which we're not going to be using all that often. That basically just puts enemies to sleep, and that's a job action that we have as a healer. So we're not going to need these. Surecast we're still going to need. We're not going to need Sleep. Sleep is a caster action, so it's not a healer action. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're just going to reorganize the bar a little bit. I'm going to put Lucid Dreaming back up here because that's where I'm used to having it. I'm going to actually put Bio and Ruin 2, because for Scholar, Ruin 2 is a separate action up there. My focus is healing, so I want to make sure my healing abilities are available. So I have Physic, and I have Adloquium. And a Scholar is a shield healer, so what we do with Adloquium is we put, it restores a little bit of hit points, but what we want to do is we want to put a shield on somebody. So what it does is it grants an action called Galvanize to the target, which nullifies damage equaling to 125% of the hit points restored. So when critical hit points is restored, it also grants Catalyze, nullifying damage equal to 125% of the hit points restored. So we get an additional 125% on top of the other 125%. So that's really nice when you critical that. But yeah, that basically puts a shield on the target, and they can take no damage for a little while. That helps. Whispering Dawn is your fairy action. So when you have your fairy out, your fairy will heal with you. So not only is there you healing the target, but your fairy will also heal the target. And at low levels, it's pretty OP. The fairy heals for quite a bit. But at higher levels, the fairy doesn't heal for as much, so you have to do quite a bit more. So Whispering Dawn orders the fairy to execute the action Whispering Dawn, and it will put an effect on all of the party members that gradually restores their hit points. So that's called Regen. We call it the Regen effect in this game. The actual Regen ability is White Mage ability. I'll actually put this here for now. So it's just a little bit closer, but I usually put the fairy actions kind of over on this side. I'll put Lucid Dream here. Yeah, so anyways, that's Scholar for you, and now I've kind of set up my bar the way I want it, so I'll lock it again so that I don't accidentally move things around. Let's check out our actions and traits, and go into our role actions. So Swift Cast, Surecast, Asuna, Repose, those are all on the bar. Lucid Dreaming's on the bar. Here's another one. Here's it called Rescue. So you can put that on the bar. And what that one does is you can see if somebody's about to get hit by something and it doesn't look like they're going to move in time, you can use Rescue and that'll draw them to you immediately. So if they're in danger, you can rescue them. And unfortunately it gets used to troll a lot. Because some people will rescue you when you're not in danger, and they'll rescue you into danger, or they'll rescue you off the edge of an arena. It doesn't happen very often if you're just doing something with random people, but when you're doing stuff with friends, sometimes they troll you. It depends on your friends, I suppose. In any case, we can already do the level 35 quest because we're already level 35, so let's go ahead and take it. Because it's going to give us an ability called Succor, which is our AoE shield heal. Which means it'll heal the whole party. Everybody's in range anyways. Ah, Kit, I was hoping you might come along. Deciphering the treatise has proved more difficult than I anticipated, but I have nevertheless made progress. It contains a wealth of military knowledge, much of which details the role of scholars in Nemean units. Apparently, a single scholar could provide effective support for an entire party of marauders. They would employ their magics to heal the wounds and enhance the abilities of their allies. Moreover, they served in leadership roles as they were highly trained tacticians. But how swiftly the remembrance of all things is buried in the gulf of eternity. It's very deep. The treatise indicates that Nemean scholars wielded a far more diverse repertoire of spells than you currently possess. Precisely why you lack these spells, I cannot say. However, the fault may lie with your fairy. One could surmise that the knowledge contained within the skull of the scholar is essentially hers. Therefore, if she cannot remember the ancient magics, it would suggest that... A thought occurs to me. If it is indeed the case that the fairy, having been sealed for 1500 years, has yet to fully regain her senses, mayhap visiting a familiar location would hasten the process. And I can think of no more familiar place than the city of Nim, rather what remains of it in outer Lenosha. Alright, so now we have to go up to the city of Nim. We've never been there before, but we have been to Upper Lenosha. We haven't been to, unfortunately, to Camp Bronze Lake, but what we can do is we can take the boat to Ailport, and then go up to Upper Lenosha, and then just run up here to Outer Lenosha. And from there, we can just take our time exploring these locations, and then we can go grab Camp Overlook. Seems like a good plan, huh? Let's go do it. Okay, back to the Fisherman's Guild first. Because it's much cheaper to take the ferry to Ailport than it is to teleport to Ailport. Off to Ailport we go for 40 gil. Okay, and let's hop on our motorcycle. And we're gonna speed through these zones as fast as we can. Not having flying available, you know, it's not that fast, but we do what we can. The motorcycle gets you a little faster than the chocobo would. So, that's why it's good to have the motorcycle. Alright. And if we see anything along the way that's for a hunt log, we can go ahead and grab those things. Alright, here we are. And this time we just keep going up and up and up. And there's a fate, which we're going to ignore. Oh, there's a hunt. He doesn't aggro, so we're okay. And we'll just go through these guys. They shouldn't aggro us, we're too high level for them. And this takes us up to Outer Lenosha. It's our first time being here, so we're gonna get the experience, and we're right by where the quest markers are, which is nice. Oh, it's over here, Forgotten Whisper. Okay, the fairy streams to remember. Let's get back on the mount. There's gonna be stuff here that aggroes. I'll try to avoid it. We might end up aggroing it. Such as life. We'll just kill it. The fairy strains to remember. Okay. Here's the next one. Okay, I think the next one is down below. We'll just try to avoid this Highland Condor. Oh, somebody's fighting a Basalt Golem. Cool, cool. Oh, it's up there. Oh, okay. Go back and get it. This Condor is gonna be annoying. And then this guy might... Oh, it's the other one? Oh, right, I have to jump over. Okay. It's not that far of a jump. It's pretty simple. And then you just talk to this Forgotten Whisper. Very strange to remember. The next one, it looks like, is over there, so we don't have to go down below. We have to go to the other side. And all of this is remnants of the floating city of Nim. So you can see these floating buildings in the sky. The city itself used to float. And now it's not floating anymore. Just go down here and go back up again. Well, now it's... The city has, you know, fallen to ruin, right? So there's parts of the city that weren't floating, but they're just... Yeah. These are the remains of a city that was once great. Okay, are you gonna turn around and see us? Very strange to remember. Okay, now we have to go observe the distant Nimian units. So that's down here. These guys are turning away, so we can just get through. Perfect. See, look at all this. The floating city of Nim. It's quite beautiful. It's all ruins, though, you know, moss-choked ruins. It once was, but isn't anymore. Ah, the fairy remembers. It's beautiful. Alright, and now we have to go back and talk to Alcazolka, but I don't think return is up. Oh, less than 30 seconds. Well, we can just wait for it. Everything is organized on the bar. Things are good. We have Celine out, even though it's Eos in the cutscenes. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. Try return again. Yep, return to Lims Limensa. And we're gonna go up to the Marauders Guild to talk to Alcazolka. Welcome back, Kit. I gather the experiment met with success. Then this strongly suggests that each fairy is a distinct individual with her own thoughts, feelings, and memories. Well, I must redouble my efforts to translate the remaining text. At this rate, your discoveries threaten to overshadow mine. Not to bemoan your accomplishments, but I have yet to decipher any equally amazing stratagems. Soon enough, though. Soon enough. And we get Sucker. So you'll find that as you level up your jobs, you get some abilities that are based on level, and you get some abilities that are based on the quest. So sometimes you have to do the quest to get the ability. I'm just going to move this a little bit away from the other one, because it's an AoE move, so it means it hits the whole party, and this one is a single target move, so it just hits one person, whoever we have targeted. So that's the basics of when you're healing. Single target, AoE. Alright. So that's it for Scholar Quests right now. The next Scholar Quest is going to be at level 40, and I know we're pretty close. We're at level 38 right now. We're about halfway through 38, so we're doing pretty well. Now we're gonna switch back to Arcanist. Summon Carbuncle. And we're gonna go over to Gridania, and we're gonna do this other quest to unlock Summoner. Gridania is my free teleport, so we'll just teleport there. And so Apkalu Falls is, you go to the Lancers Guild, and the Apkalu Falls is right here in the middle, kind of between these two Aetheryte shards. So you can just sprint and run to it. And here's Ymitra. You are Kit Swan, I assume. Well met, and thank you for coming. My name, as you have obviously surmised, is Ymitra. I am a member of the Sons of Saint Coinage. Ours is a Charlian order that seeks the lost knowledge of the Allegan Empire. And in that regard, we have recently made a singularly important discovery at our dig site in Mordona. We salvaged from the ruins a set of ancient texts describing the existence of a sect of alien mages known as summoners. These were arcane practitioners said to have the ability to siphon the essences of the primals and manifest this stolen energy as a biddable ally known as an eggie. Should we succeed in resurrecting such arts, then we might well hold in our hands the power to bring this age of conflict to an end. There is, however, as there always must be, one monumental obstacle to realizing this reality. In order to manifest these obedient incarnates, nations of the beastmen savage deities, one must first defeat a primal and capture its etheric essence. Thus, only one who can boast such a daunting achievement under her belt may even begin on the path to becoming a summoner. Do you understand now why I called upon you? If you wish to contribute to my research, then come to me in the west of Byrgoth Strike, in southern Thanalan. There we shall conduct a ritual of summoning, the Austeries of Flame. Well, that was quite pointed. So, where we're going is a place we have never been before. So the way to get there is we go to Ul'dah. So what we're doing is we're going to southern Thanalan. So we have to get there through central Thanalan. So first we go to central Thanalan, and we're going to take this lower gate down here. And then we're going to go out, and we're going to attune to the little Alamigo. And then we're going to come down here, and I'll show you a way to get to the Forgotten Springs without going through a whole pack of enemies in this area. You can just go down to here, and there's a door gate that will let you through to the Forgotten Springs. So then we can go through there, and then we can go down to meet up with Ymitra. So it's a little bit of a journey, but it's worth it because we're going to unlock Summoner. So let's go ahead and go to Ul'dah. I'm just going to teleport. It's just easier that way. We've got a long journey ahead of us. Nope, don't need to use our tickets. We're going to save them for when the teleports become really expensive. And now we're in Ul'dah. And we want to go to, I believe it is the Gate of Thal. Yes. As you can see, it puts a little circle on the map down here. So the Gate of Thal is where we're going. And we'll just hop on our motorcycle. And head down that way. This is the way to get to southern Thanalan, through this gate here. We'll get the Mapping the Realm achievement. Some Sabotenders around us. So little Alamigo, we're gonna go inside. This place can be a bit confusing as to how you go inside and how you come out again, because there's many different exits to it, but only like they're in kind of out of the way places. It's a little bit of a enclosure. So we're just gonna grab this aetheryte, because we'll have to come back here someday for the main story quest. Now the idea might be that once you get to this point in the main story quest, that might be when you're doing your job quest like this. So we're a little bit ahead of the game where we're doing this way before we get here in the main story quest. Which is totally fine, because the sooner you unlock your jobs, the better, because then you can start working on them. So I just went down from there, and then we're going to go down here. Remember what I showed you on the map? We have to go down over here through the Red Labyrinth. And that's just the easier way to get down to this Forgotten Springs, rather than going through here, because there's a whole pack of enemies in here. We'd have to avoid them or fight them, or, you know, run through and aggro everything and just not bother to stop. Which is a valid strategy. But we're just gonna do things the easy way. So here we are, and there's a gatekeep right over here behind this statue. Travel to the Minotaur Mel. And once we get through the loading screen, as you can see, it led us down here where this little gate is. If you were going through here, you'd try to get here, and you'd find that you weren't able to get through. So you'd have to go around this way. It's a little bit confusing. The map doesn't really show it properly, but that's how it is. This gate comes from the other side of the map. In any case, here we are. Let's go up here and get back on our motorcycle. Be faster. Into Forgotten Springs we come. So now we can grab this aetherite. There's a fate happening here, but we don't need to participate in it. We can if we want to, but we're not going to bother. We've already got enough levels. Choco Keep. Nope. So we're going to go out this gate, basically right through the fate. It looks like there's another player here doing it. So he's farming fates. Lead into it. So we just go through the desert here to get to Ymitra. And there's a few enemies that aggro in the desert, but it's not too bad. It's pretty easy to avoid them. And there's Ymitra, and as you can expect, we're going to be doing an instance battle. So let's just go right ahead. Greetings to you once more, Kit. I had a feeling this unique opportunity would be nigh impossible for you to ignore. Let us proceed directly to the ritual, shall we? According to the records we recovered, the summoners of old would perform these rites in a land in which the naturally dominant element matched the aspect of the avatar they wished to call forth. Only in such a place might one sufficiently shift one's etheric balance in the desired direction. The element of fire is especially strong here in the Sogoli Desert. I can think of no land more fitting in which to summon an incarnation of the Lord of the Inferno. Before we begin, I must insist that you accept this gem. It may appear of little worth, but within its faceted depths dwell the memories of long-deceased summoners. So that's going to be our summoner stone. Now you must focus. Visualize the ether flowing through you, a vibrant current of energy transforming into living fire. Hold this image in your mind, and the raging heat of your life force shall spawn an eggie wreathed in flames. Be aware, however, that this nascent entity will appear before you unbound and hostile. It is your charge to overpower the avatar and establish yourself as its master. The path of the summoner is not fraught with peril. Alright, so let's do this. There it is. Ifrit egg. Ifrit. Okay, so now we just attack him. And Ymitra is a healer, so she will keep us healed. She also casts Stone Skin, the lost art. Okay, we definitely want to kill these shivers when we can, because they do little bits of damage and they empower the eggie. Okay, now we need to kill the nails. It's just like in the Ifrit battle, where we had to kill the nails. Well, we had to kill the one nail. This time we have to kill 3. Okay. And back over here. And now we continue to kill Ifrit egg. Hit me with a physical vulnerability up. Oh no! But it's already gone. And he's done. Okay, so we talk to Ymitra again. Most impressive, Kit. The Fireborn Eggie has submitted to your will. You have mastered the austeries of flame, and that is no small feat. pray let us return to Apkalu Falls that we might further discuss your achievement. Okay, so now we go back to Apkalu Falls. So that's just a teleport to Gridania again. The thing about the summoner quest is you have to have faced the primals before you can get the ability to summon them. So when Ymitra is going to teach you to summon a different primal, you can't take her quest until you've faced them in the story. So, at some point, we're going to be basically blocked, and I believe it is even the level 35 quest. We can't do the level 35 quest until we have faced, I believe it is Titan in the main story quest. But that is okay. We can continue to level up. We can continue to do the main story quest. And the abilities that we're going to get are not essential for what we're doing. This is truly a momentous occasion. You have rescued the lost art of summoning from the grasping mire of forgotten history. But you must know more of the avatar you have bound. In the ancient tongue of the Allegan Empire, it would be known as FFXIV, where Egi translates approximately to pure, or the essence of. In short, you have tamed a willful manifestation of Ifrit's raging fires. As you might expect from an entity born of the Lord of the Inferno, this avatar and its capacity for destruction should serve you well in your battles to come. With such an ally at your command, it is not too soon to take upon yourself the title of Summoner. You have proven yourself more than worthy of the soul crystal you now possess. Yet, be that as it may, the road before you is long and arduous. If you would triumph in this age of conflict, you must needs master more than just the Egi of fire. I suggest you next fix your gaze upon claiming a servant of unyielding stone. This will, of course, necessitate you joining an expedition to defeat the primal known as Titan. This beloved divinity of the kobolds poses the greatest threat to Limsa, and it is there that you shall find allies in your cause. The risks are great, but so too are the rewards. Topple the Lord of Crags, and we may progress to the next stage of our historic research. Fair fortune to you, Kit. The next summoner quest will be available from Ymitra upon reaching level 35. Okay, so we get Summon Ifrit and Ruby Summoning Mastery, along with the Soul of the Summoner. Summoner unlocked. You learn how to summon Ifrit Egi. So basically what happens is it replaces our Summon Ruby. So we no longer have Summon Ruby, and we're going to have Summon Ifrit Egi. It's just called Summon Ifrit. So I'm going to equip the Summoner Stone, and then that again will cause the bar to reset as we are set to Summoner. And there goes Carbuncle. So let's just go ahead and update this gear set, because we don't need Arcanist anymore. Once you've unlocked the job or jobs, and the only one that has 2 jobs is Arcanist. Once you've unlocked the job that is associated with your class, you no longer need the class. You can just reassign the current gear to Summoner. So now we have both Summoner and Scholar gear sets, so we can switch between the 2 of them. But for the most part, they're going to have the same gear until we hit level 50 and we start getting different gear for Healer and Caster. So I'm just going to go ahead and rearrange my bar here. Remove Sprint, Return, Teleport, and Play Guide because we don't need those. So Addle is a good ability to have on the bar. I'm going to put it right here. Here's our summons. So we have Summon Ifrit, Summon Topaz, and Summon Emerald. We have a Resurrection. We have Energy Drain and Fester. We have Summon Carbuncle, which we only need to do the one time, and then Carbuncle is with us. It works the same way as before. When you press the Summon Ifrit button, Carbuncle turns into the Ifrit Egi and does the business that you need doing. Put that there. So we do still have physic, but as usual, it's useless. Well, it's not useless. I shouldn't say useless. It's not useless. It's just as you go up in level, it does less and less. And at that point, it might as well be useless. Because when you're at a much higher level and it heals you for 400 hit points, you're going to be like, what's the point? But anyways, right now it's fine. We'll leave it. I'm going to put energy drain down here. I'm going to put gem shine. That one goes up here. And precious brilliance. The AoE move. So outburst and precious brilliance. And Fester can go over here. And then we're going to have some abilities that I'm going to fill in on the other sides eventually. So we just make sure that we got all of our abilities here. So this time we want to have... Did I just realized this is my bar for Scholar. Going to character configuration and hotbars. Because I think I left hotbar 4 as shared. So sharing. Yeah, hotbar 4 is shared, so we don't want it to be shared. Oh, this cross hotbar. Cross hotbar is fine. But hotbar 4 we don't want it to be shared. So I'm just going to apply that, and now it's gone. So we're just gonna have to redo it, and we'll have to redo it on Scholar too. That's fine. So we'll just go in here and we'll put the roll actions back on there. Now we have sleep for the sleep ability. We have our Addle. We have our lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming gives you back, it basically is a refresh, or in other words, once you hit it, it'll start to gradually restore your MP. Which is really, really nice, because sometimes you run low on MP in the fights. There's a swift cast and a sure cast. I'll just leave it at that for now, and now Summoner is more or less set up. Move these guys over one. Yeah, because we're going to have some more stuff that goes in here. We've got Radiant Aegis. So this is basically when you don't have an Eggy currently summoned, you can use Radiant Aegis to put your shield on yourself. So if you're starting to take a lot of damage, it's a good button to have. But that's Summoner. Now let's go back to Scholar, because we want to put these abilities on the bar. So first of all, the Limit Break. For healers, it's important to have the Limit Break as well, because the healer limit break, if you've got a 1 bar, it heals everybody. If you've got 2 bars of limit break, it does a little bit more healing, so it heals everybody for more. And if you've got 3 bars of limit break, it will not only heal everybody, it will raise everybody who might be dead on the field. So it's very handy when you're close to wiping in a raid. So it's a good thing to have that on the bar for your healer, just in case you come across an oh shit moment. Basically. Alright. So those are set up. So now we can go back to Summoner. And the reason I want to do the story on Summoner is just because when we're killing things, we can kill things a little bit faster with a DPS class than we can with a healer class. Now with a healer class you can heal yourself, but now we have our Chocobo. So the Chocobo can do a little bit of healing too. And I'm not really particularly worried about taking too much damage. Of course, I'm going to say that and then I'm going to die somewhere, but such as it just is what it is. I'm sure it'll be fine. In any case, now we've finished with the job quest, so we have our jobs. So I'm going to summon Carbuncle, and we're going to go around on Summoner. The only thing is that, oh, yeah, I have to do the Grand Company Hunt Log. So basically what I've been doing is I've been doing those turn-ins that I showed you at the beginning of the video. I've been doing them weekly. So I've gotten to the point now where I don't quite have enough seals for the next rank, but I know for the next rank I'm going to need to finish my company hunt log. So go to the hunt log and then you click on the Order of the Twin Adder, or whichever grand company you happen to be a part of. Their icon will be here. You go here. So I have to finish this entire first page of the hunt log. Now, in this hunt log, you have things that are in Eastern Thanalan, Sandgate, but Eastern Thanalan Halatali is actually a dungeon. So we have a few things that we need to kill inside Halatali, which means we need to run the dungeon to finish these hunt logs. So we're going to have to do that, and then we're going to have to go around the world and kill these things. And then at that point, we will be ready to rank up again with the company. And it's going to happen again with the second page of the hunt log. So we just have to do that to get ranked up with our grand company. And I think ranking up with a grand company is it's not super important for the story, but it is fairly important mechanically in the game, because for one thing, it gives you the ability to buy things like glamour prisms, things like retainer venture coins, which I haven't gotten to yet, but they come in super handy. And in any case, you can buy these kind of things with company seals, but the way to get company seals after you've ranked up to your desired rank is you need to go into dungeons and you get the gear that has sort of a color glow to it. So we have quite a few pieces in here. So this plundered grimoire is one of them, which we don't need anymore because we have higher level grimoires. We've got this plundered shortbow, which we don't need because we're not leveling archer. And so we can turn those things in and get company seals, but first you have to reach the required rank for what they call expert delivery. So after we do that, we'll essentially be able to just turn gear in and get company seals, and then we can rank up at our leisure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run Halatali, and I'm going to actually run it as healer. And the reason I want to run it as healer is because I get a faster queue, because you have to run this one with other people. You cannot run it in the duty support. It's not available in the duty support. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick up Halatali because I unlocked it earlier because I knew this was going to happen. That's also why I picked up this this quest for the Sunken Temple of Karn, because the same thing's going to happen with the second page of the hunt log, and for that one you need Karn. Unless you picked Ulda, then you need a dungeon called Cutter's Cry instead. But any case, let's do Halatali. We're going to join, we're going to actually do a dungeon with other people. You ready? Oh, I didn't get an insta-queue. What is this? It's almost like people are not doing dungeons on these new servers. In any case, it doesn't matter. What we'll do is we'll go around and we'll do the hunt log while we're waiting for the queue to pop. So the first ones are in Eastern... Oh, there's the queue. Never mind. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you come into a dungeon is usually to say hello. And I just do the little wavy symbol, so it's a 0 and a backslash. I'm watching the cutscene, mainly for you guys to see, but you don't have to watch the cutscene. You can skip it using the escape button if you want. And if you've done the thing where you turn off viewing repeated cutscenes, then when you come in here again, you won't see the cutscene the second time. Oh, and then here are our plates, which we never set up the portraits. Alright, so these guys, you can see these guys are on our hunt log, which is nice, so we're going to be killing them with our tank. And the tank is just running ahead and gathering everything, so I better target the tank, because we're going to want to heal them. I mean, the fairy will keep them alive too, so this is a paladin, they're fairly sturdy. Just gotta watch their hit points, and that's why I moved my bar over there, so that I can see what their hit points are at. Oh, and here comes a bomb that got aggroed. So I can't use some of my new moves because I got synced down to level 23. Oh, now I have a couple enemies on me, so I'm just going to run over to the tank so that the tank can take them off of me. And that's exactly what happened. Let's go ahead and put regen on everybody so that even if somebody does get hit, they'll gradually heal. Yep. Look at that. Those entries are already completed. Well, the one entry is completed. There's another entry that we have to do, but that's a little bit later in the dungeon. So, we'll just go through this, killing enemies. So as a healer, like, I mean, your main priority is making sure everybody's alive, but if everybody's alive and doing well and your fairy is healing everybody, like your fairy is doing more than enough healing, you can just DPS. So you just cast your DPS moves on the enemies. So in this fight, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to attack the little enemies that start to come out of the flames on the side. You're supposed to do that because when they reach the center of the center flame over here, they do damage to the party, the entire party. However, because people are so overpowered now with gear and stuff, usually what we do is we just focus the boss down. So that's what they're doing here, and as you can see, everybody's ignoring the actual mechanics of this fight and focusing the boss down. So the important thing about this is I need to be on top of it as a healer. Now, we're just going to put regen on everybody, and that should handle it because we're not going to take that much damage because we're going to kill that thing. Oh, I leveled. Nice! You can check and see if there's any gear in here that'll be good for you, but odds are you've already replaced your gear with better stuff. So, let's see. And these are for Disciples of War, so we don't need them, but we can greed them. And sometimes, if nobody else wants them, we can get them, because, Krakos. So these are some more things that we can kill for the hunt log, which is great, because we have to kill them as we're going through the dungeon. Oh, those are actually better than what I have. I'm going to need them. And, so basically, as you're going through the dungeon, you can just pick up the gear, you can kill the enemies, you will get levels from the bosses. Bosses are the only things that give XP. Keep an eye on your tank's hit points, and the other DPS, because sometimes they stand in stuff they shouldn't be standing in. And their hit points go down for whatever reason. So it's good to be aware of everybody's hit points, which is again why I have the bar here. Oh, we finished our entry for the Scythe Mantises. It's wonderful. As you can see, this tank is just running through and pulling everything, so I'm going to put regen on again. And they just got everything. I'm going to actually need to throw some heals out. There we go. Just topped off. Oh, they need Insuna. Okay, let's continue. And these guys are going to continue whatever, because like these are other players that you're playing with in these dungeons, so they're just going to do what they want. They sometimes might do strange things that surprise you, but you know, other people, right? What you gonna do? Okay, I'll heal you. I don't usually have to heal much in these dungeons, but this tank is quite confident, so they're pulling quite a bit. And I have a fairy, and I have my heals, so that's probably why they're fairly confident. Basically what I'm doing is I'm targeting all the enemies and I'm putting my damage over time effect on them, so they gradually take damage, and then I'm attacking them with Ruin. So that's basically my sort of damage rotation as a scholar. And you'll find it's probably the same damage rotation as any other healer. So not a lot of enemies, so I'm just focusing on my tank. Just make sure that they don't die. The DPS can take care of doing the damage here. But now that there's less enemies, I can go ahead and target things and start putting my dots on them. There we go. Our company hunt log have been finished. But we also have to, I think some of the bosses are also part of the hunt log, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyways, in this fight, this guy eventually makes the water turn purple and then it becomes electrifying. So standing over here, if you're a ranged or a caster, is a really, really good idea. Because it's, okay, so now once he's in the center like that, he becomes invulnerable and you have to kill his lightning sprites. They die really, really fast, but you also want to dodge the moves that he throws at you. And, of course, make sure everybody's alive. So Whispering Dawn goes out. So if anybody happens to get hit, they will be healed up. And again, the fairy too. So he does that twice during the fight. So here he is doing it again. Just attack the lightning sprites. We're doing a lot of damage to him, so his phases are coming on very fast. So it really depends on your group. This group knows this dungeon quite well. So they're just doing things very quickly. We can attack this guy again. Everybody in the party is reasonable health, and we don't really have to worry about the water right now, so we can go into the water and get these treasure coffers, and then go into the ethereal flow. I forgot to mention that before. That's what we did at the last one. We have to talk to the ethereal flow to go through this dungeon, because it takes you to different parts of the dungeon where you can get to. Oh, the tank has ran ahead of me. I've just got to sprint. Oh, they're fine. They're just right here. Yeah, I'm with you, tank. You can go. Some tanks will run ahead of their healers, so you just kind of have to be on your toes. So these guys know that when they get to this room, that treasure chest in the middle there, that's a trap. So you only want to click on that one if you want to kill some more enemies for some reason. And most people just ignore it and continue on to the final boss instead. So I'm just going to watch the cutscene for the boss, because if they start the fight without me, that's fine. They should be okay for a little while as I'm watching the cutscene. And if the arena closes off, I'll have the ability to teleport into the closed arena. So that's no problem. So yeah, we just watched the cutscene. And it seems like they waited for me, because I don't think they've started the fight yet. Here I am. Yep. So sometimes people will wait for you, and sometimes people will charge your headlong in. Don't let it stop you from doing what you want. If people charge in and they die because you weren't there, they're just jerks, and they should have waited for you, because the newbie experience is sacred. Like, the whole point of doing these dungeons, putting them in the roulettes and everything, is all about the newbie experience. So once again, we have these things that go towards the center. When this guy puts his thing underneath him, he's invulnerable. So what we need to do is kill these fire sprites that spawn. And then it gets rid of the thing beneath him. He spawns 3 of them. And again, the little things, which it looks like the caster is killing them this time. They go towards the middle, or towards the boss, and when they hit the boss, they explode, doing a little bit of damage. But it looks like the DPS are killing them this time, so we don't really have to worry about that. Usually, once you get down to this pretty low health here, one of the DPS will usually do the limit break. But these guys are, one is a ranged, a dancer, and one is a red mage. So they're not used to having to do the limit break. So they didn't do it, which is okay. It doesn't really matter. Here we got to the dungeons. One for doing our first dungeon, or sorry, for doing a certain number of dungeons. You can see your party members in the little cutscene, and you see yourself doing a little joy emote. And now we can choose to accommodate a player. What I'm going to do is I'm going to accommodate the tank, because my general rule of accommodating is, oh, those are nice. We'll take those. Coral's Eye, we don't need, but we can greet it. We can greet that. And what is this? Oh, this is really nice. So my general rule of accommodating is if I am the healer or the tank, I will accommodate the healer or the tank. So the other person who's doing that kind of tank healer yeah, anyways. And if I am a DPS, I will calm the other DPS. That's my rule of how to do things, but not everybody's rule. Alright. You'll find you get more accommodations as a healer or a tank. And look at that, I got 3 commendations. So it's entirely possible that those guys came in together, and the other possibility is they saw that I was a newbie, but I did a really good job. So they were like, oh, great job, newbie. People are quite friendly like that, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, that was the first time we've done a dungeon with other players. So that didn't go too badly, did it? Yeah, anyways, now that we're done with that, we switch back to Summoner. And we go out to do the rest of our hunt log. Hunt log. Oh, you see how some pieces of our gear are turning white on the little, this is like your gear indicator here? What that means is if you hover over them, you'll see on the actual gear screen that the bar beside them is white. So that what that means is your spirit bond is full. So you can right click on it and you can extract materia. Now these are low level gears, so it'll be low level materia, but it's still materia, so you can go ahead and extract it and then you can sell it on the market board. And I should actually show you how to sell stuff on the market board. So what we'll do is after we finish this, before we finish our hunt log, we'll go ahead and create a retainer and put the materia up for sale on the market board. If it's selling for anything, it might not be. But we might have some other materials that we've basically accumulated in our travels that might sell for something on the market board. So we'll just find out. Extract materia and extract materia. So we got a bunch of new gear during that run too. We got some Doctor's Tights, Doctor's Krakows, and an ethereal coral ring. So let's go ahead and equip those things. And then we're gonna apply our glamour plate to them. And then we're gonna continue on with our adventures. Now with slightly better gear. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the market area and show you how to create a retainer. So this, after you first encounter the Scions and agree to help them, Minfilia gives you access to register retainers. And retainers are the way you sell things on the market board. So I've showed you the market board in a previous video. You can see the market boards are here. There's this person called a retainer vocate, and they exist in every single major city. So you'll find them in Ul'dah, Limsa, and Gridania in the market area. So you just look for this retainer vocate, because whichever one you register at, the retainer is selling from that particular city. It doesn't really matter what city they're selling for. It's just whatever you prefer. There's a tiny bit of a market tax, depending if you're not in the city that you're buying from, but mostly people don't pay much attention to that, so. Okay, let's hire a retainer. You may hire up to 4 retainers. See, I can hire 4. That's because I'm paying for 2 extras. Normally it's 2. So if you're not paying for extra retainers, you get 2 retainers that you can hire. So I don't currently have any retainers, so when I'm customizing my retainer, I will be unable to communicate with players and engage in other activities. That's fine, let's continue. Excellent. So, we need to customize our retainers. I'm not going to load any previously saved data. We're just going to go ahead and start with this fellow. Lovely fellow, isn't he? So what I'm going to do is, because I'm a female Mikote, I'm going to actually hire a male Mikote retainer. So here's a lovely looking male Mikote. Now I am a keeper of the moon, so I will make him a seeker of the sun. We'll just confirm. Do we want him to be tall or short? Let's make him a shorty. Short. Now tail types. So it just depends on your preference. This is the same as the character creator we went through, like, originally, way back in the start. You won't see much of your retainers, different attributes, but let's make the tail a little bit longer. There we go. And so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is a sort of a youngish face. This is a sort of an older face. This is a really young face, like kind of a baby face, but it's very cute. And then this one is sort of an in-between face, where it's not super old and it's not super young. I'm gonna go with this kind of youngish face. And skin color. What color should his skin be? We can make him fairly dark. Let's make him somewhat dark-skinned. And hairstyle. So we have all these hairstyles to choose from. You can pick whichever one you prefer. I'm going to probably go with, where was it? Not that one. There it is. This one. Because I kind of like this one. It's short, it's got a couple braids on the side. It looks good. I think so anyway. So let's go ahead with that. So what color of hair should we give him? Let's give him some really dark hair. Black hair. Yeah. He's a handsome sort of fella. And we can give him some bright highlights to go with that. How about yellow highlights? Red highlights? Blue highlights? Green highlights? Whatever color we go with, we should match it with his eyes, I think. So why don't we go blue? Let's do a sort of a nice light blue. There we go. So now he's got these light blue highlights in his hair. Yay! Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of skip through these because I think his face looks fine. His eyes look fine. His mouth looks fine. So we're just gonna accept the defaults just to kind of take this through fairly quickly. I'm gonna make his eyes blue so they match his hair. Alright, that looks fairly close. Oh, that looks perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. And eyebrows are good. Nose is good. Mouth is good. Lip color, we have none. That's fine. We've got facial features, so let's take that off because I am not a facial hair kind of girl. I like my smooth shaven balls. But, see, he also has a little face paint on his face. So we're gonna just remove that. And look at him now, he looks very sharp. Tattoo color, nope, tattoos anyways. And face paint, we can put face paint on him, but we're not gonna. Just define what the face paint color looks like. And the voice. Again, it doesn't really matter. that sounds fine. I just wanted to make sure it didn't sound totally stupid, but it doesn't really matter because your retainer's not going to be saying much. He just basically does little noises of confirmation here and there. So that's good. That's our retainer for us. Now we're just going to confirm the appearance. I'm not going to save the appearance data because I don't care about saving the appearance data, but if you want to save your retainer's appearance data, by all means do it. You can reuse it again if you do that. I can think of several retainers that are exactly as you describe. They have strikingly different personalities. What do you want your personality to be? And this is just how they address you. So when you first summon the retainer, how they interact with you, when you send them on ventures, what kind of things they say. So basically this is just the personality of your retainer, so how you want them to be. So in this case, I think this fellow would be fairly lively, don't you think? Let's make him a lively fellow. Just the fair maiden I was hoping to see. Tell me your heart's desire. And when dismissed, he goes, then I have satisfied your every need. Excellent. I do so take pleasure in servicing my clients. Oh my. So let's go ahead and hire this retainer. So now we have to give him a nickname. So we basically, what we want to call our retainer. So unfortunately, I really wish they would put the random name generator here, but let's go ahead and give him some sort of name, like, what should we give him? Let's call him Hot Pot. See if that's taken already. Hot Pot is now in your employ. Excellent. If you have further questions, do not hesitate to ask. Alright, I just wanted to pick something that probably wasn't taken, so... Oh, I forgot, the Summoner Transgauge comes up. And it just explains the Summoner Transgauge, which we've already gone through in previous videos, so... let's go ahead and summon the retainer. So now we have Hot Pot. Here he is! And as he says, just the fair maiden I was hoping to see. Tell me your heart's desire. And now what you can do is you can... Basically, he's storage space, so you can put 175 items on him. So you can start entrusting things to him that you want him to hold for you, because your inventory will eventually get full. That's just what happens. The other thing he can do is he can sell things on the market for you. So let's look and see how much this materia is worth. And I'm going to predict it's not worth very much. Oh, it's actually worth a little bit. So see, it goes up for 1,850, and this person's selling 5 of them. This person's selling 1 of them. You can see the quantities and that sort of thing, and then you can check the history, so you can see what people actually paid for it. So you can see people were willing to pay these prices. So let's go ahead, and what we'll do is just to preserve the economy a little bit. What I usually do is I match the lowest price. Some people like to go like 1 gil under, just so theirs sells first, because then it'll appear at the top of the list. But I like to match the lowest number. 1850. If you're really good at playing the market, sometimes you can predict when things are going to sell out at that price and they're going to go to a higher price. So you put things for a higher price and sell them for more. And so some people are really good at predicting those kind of things, and they can play the market and they can make lots of gil. So if you're one of those people, then you're probably going to have a fun time figuring out the market trends and that sort of thing. So this one's going for 487. So we did 487. And you can put, per retainer, you can put 20 things up on the market board. So this one's going for 3,000. So we can just add 2 zeros to the end of that. Muddy water. Let's go for anything. 10 gil a piece. I think I bought this muddy water for a turn-in, so I'm just gonna hang on to it. Same with the latex. The jellyfish umbrella, I don't think this is gonna be worth anything. Well, 325, so you can still put it up. Somebody might buy it, somebody might need it. These animal hides you can usually buy from a vendor, so they're generally not worth anything. So we don't want to sell our geishal greens. We have a chicken egg. It's again, something that you can buy from a vendor, so it's going for 230 on the market for some reason. Put it up. We've got some bait because we unlocked fishing. These silver pieces and such, they're just for selling. They're just gil pieces, basically. So you're expected to sell them and get gil. So that's the other thing the retainer can do, is if you are on this screen or you're on the retainer inventory screen, you can right-click anything in your inventory and choose Have Retainer Sell Items. And it's just like selling them to any vendor. You get the gil for it. So in that case, we got 3,000 gil for those silver pieces. The tin pieces will be worth a little bit less, only 50 gil. And the bronze pieces will be worth even less than that. So those ones, because we had so many of them, went for 3,800 gil. And then we have our dyes. And it doesn't look like we really have anything else we want to sell. Oh, ram horn. Put up for sale. 3 gil. So it's not really worth it to put that one up. So we'll just have the retainer sell it. Same with the animal skin, I'm predicting. Yeah, 1 gil. And honey. Yep, same thing. These are items that are pretty easily obtained, and you can buy them from a vendor, so that's why they don't sell for much on the market board. But let's get rid of them from our inventory. Okay, and then it asks you to confirm to make sure that you know that you've sold some stuff, because you can actually buy your things back from the retainer before you let him go. As long as you don't hit that OK button that I just hit. There is a button to reclaim your items if you've sold something by accident. So that's that, and now our inventory is kind of like all over the place, so what we're going to do is we're just going to sort it. And it's nice and tidy again. Alright, time to go and finish the rest of our hunt log. Our Grand Company hunt log. Hunting log. Order of the Twin Adders already selected. So you notice these ones are completed now. Those were the ones from inside the dungeon, these 3. And this Kobold Pikmin is finished now, because we did that one when we spotted those guys in Upper Lenosha. So let's go to Eastern Thanalan, and we'll go to Sandgate and we'll kill these Amalja Javeliners. These guys are going to be fairly low level. It's good to do these also before you go to higher level areas. It's good to get these lower level hunts out of the way, because then you get the higher level ones accessed, and then when you go to the areas that you're higher level for, you'll find them naturally in the wild. There's also Sylvan Screams. We could go do those first because we're already in Gridania, so that might actually make a little bit more sense. Sylvan Screams and Ixali Deft Lawns are in Gridanian areas. So let's go do them. Okay, so first we gotta go to the East Shroud, and we're gonna be killing Sylvan Screams. So let's go to the Lancers Guild, and we'll take the ferry to the East Shroud. And then I'll show you how you find these guys. So we go to Sweet Bloom Pier. So here's my map. I'm going to zoom in a little further so that I can see all the different areas on it. So you can see like the bramble patch and that sort of thing. So if we bring up the hunt log again, hunting log, and we go down to the one we're after. So these guys are in the bramble patch. So this bramble patch is this area in here. So where they are, I know where they are, but you can go looking for them in this area. But I will show you exactly where to find them if you happen to have the Gridania hunt log. And most of the hunt logs are similar. So you might find that you have the exact same enemies on your hunt log from like Ul'dah or from Limsa or whatever. And we're too high level for most of this stuff to aggro us, so we can just run right through. So basically where these guys are is along here. As I'm trying to follow the map and navigate at the same time. As you come up to this one, you want to go underneath. Because going up top will take you up to this place here. We don't want to go there right now. If you were going to attend an eternal bonding ceremony, that'd be where you would go, but that's not what we're doing. So these Sylvan Screams are the ones we're after. So let's go ahead and summon up our Chocobo, because they can get XP from us killing this stuff. And because we're so high level, of course we're going to aggro other things. So let's go ahead and kill that as well. Basically they'll link. And you can see where they're going to link when you hover over them. So you can see that one's going to link too. But that's okay. We'll just kill it. And then we'll kill the one it links to. Which is actually another Scream, so perfect. I'll just leave my Chocobo to kill that one. And we're down. Oh. I just realized I have Aether Charge over here. Where's this Brilliance? Gem Shine. Okay, I've fucked up a little bit. There we go. That was not the move I thought it was. Anyway, so we've finished with the Sylvan Screams. So now we can go basically to the other side of Gridania. And maybe I'll just teleport back to Gridania. That's probably the best idea because it's free for me. Teleport. That'd be the easiest and the fastest. And we're gonna go out to the North Shroud, and we're gonna find some enemies in the North Shroud. Oh, we've never been here before, so we get a Mapping the Realm achievement. Just realized we're level 40, we could go pick up the next Scholar quest. So we'll do that after this. So, where these guys are is Elder Springs. It's a little bit deceptive and you might have trouble finding them. So I'm going to just let you know they're down here in this little kind of secluded area down there. Alright. Drive down to this bridge. So they're right before you come into Falgard's Float. You just kind of go down here. There's some Bane Mites. They won't do anything to me because I'm too high level for them. And there's the Deflons that we need to kill. Okay, of course I aggro this guy. So kill him too. These guys won't bother us. So this guy's gonna aggro that guy right there. He's gonna link to that guy right there, sorry. I'm just gonna put him out of his misery. We're gonna summon Topaz. And that should finish off the hunt log. Now we just gotta kill this guy. And since we're so close, I'm gonna go up and I'm going to get the Aetherites for Falgard Float, which is this city right here. City, I should say. It's a little bit of a settlement. So here's the Choco Keep. And here's the Aetherites. So we're done with the Gridania area stuff. So let's look at the hunt log again and see what else needs to be done. We've got Eastern Thanalan, Southern Thanalan, Eastern Thanalan, and then Korthus Central Highlands. We're actually quite close to Korthus Central Highlands, so let's go in that direction. So that is through here, and then there's stuff here that might be a little closer to our level. So that might aggro us, which is okay. But it's just right over here. Up here, Korthus Central Highlands. So you just have to go past these guys. And we'll eventually be going here for story, so I'm not super concerned with it right now. Getting the aetherite and that sort of thing. But we just discovered this snowy ass zone. So we're in an area called Dragon Head, and that's where these guys are, and they're actually right over here. So we don't have to go up to Camp Dragon Head yet. I'm so not dressed appropriately for this zone. That's okay. Your Warrior of Light is, well, they're not Warrior of Light yet, but your Adventurer is very hardy. So, they can handle the cold, they can handle the heat, they're pretty darn good. Let's make sure we're still going in the right direction. It's over here. And there's these Ixali guys. So these guys will aggro me because they're 10 levels below me. Okay. Oh, we only had to kill one. So let's get the hell out of here. Okay, I'll hop back on my mount, because the nice thing about going on your mount is you're not using up the time for your chocobo when you're doing that. So let's look at this again. So we've got Eastern Thanalan, Southern Thanalan, and again Eastern Thanalan. So let's go to Eastern Thanalan first. Just teleport us, and you can see in here, Eastern Thanalan, Camp Drybone. So that one is still considered one of our favorites because we were there for quite some time, as you recall. I'm just going to teleport us there. So here we are at Camp Drybone. So I know that I just know this, but if you look in your hunt log, it'll tell you that you have to go to Sandgate to kill enemies, and they're just in this little Amalja encampment here. So, let's go head on out there. It's raining. It's raining so hard, so hard, so hard. Oh, we don't want to go down there. We want to go this way. Toward this Amalja encampment. And these guys are so low level, they will not aggro me. They're level 18. I mean, this is almost like just bullying at this point. But I need to kill them for my hunt logs, so... This guy is gonna link to that guy. Chocobo to kill him and target this guy. That my view was not good for targeting him, so now we're fine. We gotta kill one more Jabbler. He's gonna link to that hunter beside him, which is okay. And now we just gotta kill the hunter to get him away from us. Cool. So that's the first set of mobs. That's completed. That's the very top of our hunt log. So you're looking, we're seeing a lot of completes here. That's in Southern Thanalan, so we don't want to go there yet. Eastern Thanalan, Welwick Woods. So we're in Eastern Thanalan. Welwick Wood is up here. And there's going to be some Amalja in the area, and I think they're over here. but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, we have to go up there, so let's go up there. We can basically just drive right through all this stuff. As long as there's nothing that's like obstructing us, it should be fine. Like this. We have to go around this. These. But there's the bridge. We're going to be coming here for main story as well. So we could do this along with the main story, but I would really like to just progress the Grand Company, just because it's good to do. It's good to get to the point where you can turn in your gear for company seals. Oh, we want to avoid that guy. He's a level 50 guy. He's a hunt mark. They just spawn randomly in zones, so... Well, these are bandits, so it might be a little further up. That might be over here. Or not. No, maybe it's back the other way. Sorry. See, even I don't know everything. Alright. Back where this fellow is. We just don't want to go anywhere near him. Yep, here they are. I knew they were somewhere around here. Okay. Alright. Apparently, we need to kill the bruisers as well. So I wonder if these are the guys we have to go to Southern Thanalan for. And they're just also here. That would be very handy. And then we wouldn't need to go to Southern Thanalan. Yes, we just finished the bruiser, so now it's just the ranger. Not in line of sight. They're gonna have line of sight. Okay, and that's it. All rank 1 hunting and log entries for the Order of the Twin Adder have been completed. So you see, now that rank 1 is done, we will eventually have access to rank 2, but we first have to rank up with the company. So we managed to complete all of these, and we've got a reward, so we might have enough if we go into our currency. Check and see if we have enough to rank up with the Grand Company. We have 4,415, and let's go back to Gridania and see how much it would cost us to rank up. Right. So talk to this guy and apply for a promotion. So he's gonna let us. Oh, we need 5,000. So we don't quite have enough seals. So we can wait until after we do our turn-ins for the next week. So they reset every Thursday or every Tuesday morning. So I have to wait until Tuesday because I've already done the ones for this week. So that will get us up to Serpent Sergeant 3rd class, which I think is actually the rank when we can turn in gear for seals. I could be wrong, but I think that it might be. I'm not 100% sure on that though. In any case, we can't do it right now, so let's not bother. But as I mentioned before, we hit level 40, so we can do another Scholar quest. We can't continue our Summoner quests because, you see, if you go here, this Austeries of Earth, we can't accept it until after we've killed Titan. So we're going to need to wait until the story takes us to Titan. So right now we can do the Scholar quest. Consequences of Anger. So I'll summon Celine. Ready for this? And we will return to Limsa. And we're just about out of time, so I might just do part of this quest and do the rest later. See what happens. Marauders Guild. Quest is there. Elka Zolka. He looks pleased to see me. Hooray! How curious that you always come at the most opportune time, Kit. 'Tis divine providence almost. Doubly so since we have both been blessed with a chance to refine our respective arts. You see, in your absence, I have been studying a section of Nemean treatise detailing marauder fighting techniques. The fundamentals do not offer much from modern methods, but there are slight variations in footwork and grip, as well as the distinctions between the various ranges, and the attack best employed when... Forgive me, I lost sight of the more pertinent point. Nemean scholars and marauders fight side by side, yes? Well, now you and I have an opportunity to do the same. The Tonberry has been spotted in Bronze Lake, and the Marauders Guild has been asked to dispatch it. Since Tonberries dwell within the Wanderer's Palace, an ancient Nemean temple recently discovered in the wake of the calamity, there is a strong possibility that the creatures have resided there since before the fall of Nim. Do you follow my reasoning, Kit? These malevolent creatures may have overrun the temple and claimed it for their own at the height of Nemean civilization. They may even have posed a major threat to the ancient people. If so, then surely facing one in battle would rekindle the memories of your fairy. Even if I am mistaken, the Tonberry poses a threat to the locals. Moreover, I would very much like to put my newly learned Nemean techniques to the test. So we will rendezvous outside the Wanderer's Palace, yes? Okay, so that's in Upper Lenosha. We still haven't attuned to Camp Bronze Lake. And the best way to get there is from Wineport. So we actually just go to Wineport and then go up. So I'm going to teleport to Wineport, and then that'll take us up. We'll go through here, and then we'll attune to Camp Bronze Lake, and that's where I will call it for this stream. Wineport! Lots of traveling around, as you can see in this game. But that's okay. It gives you a chance to look at the scenery. Except when the weather is dismal like this. Then the scenery is just not so scenic. These guys will aggro, by the way. But we can easily avoid them, and if we don't avoid them, if they do aggro, we can easily outrun them because we're in our motorcycle. So let's continue along. Follow the path. These guys will also aggro us, but that's okay. When we get up here, there's a little bit of a blockade here, so we can't quite get up to the Aetherite. We have to go around. And there's a fate here that looks like another player is working on. We're just gonna skirt around him, and we're gonna go up to Camp Bronze Lake, which is basically a giant, kind of a spa. It's a place where, like, veterans and battle-weary folks who have been injured can come to recuperate. Tune to the Aetherite. Alright, and then here we are at Camp Bronze Lake, and it is time for me to end the stream. I'm gonna hop on my mount, because you'll be back on your mount when you log in. You can see that the Wanderer's Palace is over here, and that's where our quest is. It's going to be an instance battle. I can tell you right now. There will be an instance battle there, so we'll do that next time. I should be streaming next week for sure. I'm not sure yet about tomorrow, so just stay tuned on my Twitter, and I will post if I am streaming tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys all later. Alright. Bye-bye.